Hi Mark, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
I'm hearing that, it's alright. You've been tested. Happy?
Yep, okay.
Mark, can we start with Kenwyne Jones and all that's been in the papers? We might as well start with the most difficult stuff you probably have to talk about today. What actually happened last weekend, and how much can you tell us?
Well, I don't really need to go there. I think you guys in the media probably know it from start to finish. It was well documented. I don't really need to add to it because basically what was reported was what happened. I was disappointed with that. Kenwyne's been fined, obviously, because it's not something that should happen. And we are where we are with that.
Have you had a conversation with him face to face since?
No, we spoke on Monday. And just to get an understanding of why it happened. So we had that meeting. But he's been in this week training, and we'll get on with it.
Do you still want him as part of your squad?
He won't be involved this weekend. That's fair to say, because maybe the events of last weekend are still in his mind. But moving forward, we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, there are reports that Everton have made a bid for him.
Well, maybe that's the problem. That maybe people are telling them that there's clubs for them. We've had no contact from anybody in this window, so maybe the information isn't what it seems from the outside. But you have to wait and see. So the window's open, so a lot of things happen in the window. We'll have to bide our time, I suppose. But it's unfortunate because none of us really saw it coming, so we're disappointed in that.
Can you have a relationship with him again, or has he destroyed that as far as you're concerned?
Well, listen, sometimes you make mistakes. I think on this occasion, Kenwyne made a mistake, so I accept that. Sometimes that can happen.
Okay, thank you for that. Other January transfer stuff. There are reports that Galatasaray are interested in Charlie Adam. Have you had any approach from them?
No, I don't know where that came from. Charlie's a good player. He's playing very well at the moment, and I've been watching his recent games. I think they would have been impressed, like a lot of teams have, but no contact.
The good news is, the guy you know pretty well, I should imagine, John Guidetti's come in on loan. You knew him when you were Man City, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, no, a great deal. He was obviously in the building. Glenn Hodges obviously worked with him more closely than I did because he was still a young boy then. But we kept an eye on him. Obviously, had a great spell in Dutch football. Obviously, unfortunately for the boy, he had injury problems and illness, and that set his career back. But he's been back training for a number of months now, and I just think it gives a different option from what we've got up front. We're looking for a variation in the threats that we have up top, so he's a little bit different from what we have in the building, so I thought it makes sense to try and do it.
What sort of type of player is he? Does he have to play as a 2 up front? Is he not the sort of
not necessarily. He's played as a 1. He's technically good enough to play in a 2 or up front, but his link-up play is good. Got good intelligence in around the opposition box, and if he gets chances, my memory is that he usually scores, so that's a good option to have.
Does he go straight into the squad, or has he got a bit more work?
He'll be in the squad this weekend, yeah.
And Stephen Ireland, you got tied up as well, and that was key to it, really. Without signing Stephen Ireland, you couldn't have done Guidetti, could you?
Well, that's right. Yeah, we're really pleased with the business that we've done. Obviously, freeing up the loan was dependent on signing Stephen permanently, which we're really pleased and delighted to be able to do. In a short time here, he's shown his undoubted qualities, and he just lost his way for a couple of years through, in my view, no fault of his own, and his quality was always there. Since he's come here, he's shown that, and in my view is that he'll get better the longer he's here, and he's enjoying his time. We've given him an opportunity. He appreciates that, so to make it permanent made sense to everybody.
Juan Agudelo, this has been something, I guess, that's been niggling away at you for a long time now, at the back of your mind. What is the situation with him? He's tweeted, you'll have seen that he's joined the club for 6 months, but it's more complicated than that, isn't it, Mark?
I don't know about that. We've tied him to the club, and now obviously we're not in a position to blame because unbelievably the work permit was refused. So we have to look at different options. So we'll try and get him football with a loan deal outside of these waters, and then we'll try and reapply, and that's where we are with it, because we don't want this opportunity to go away, because we feel he's an outstanding young talent, one of the best young talents to come out of America, and he appreciates what we're trying to do for him as well. So we want to make sure that we do everything in our power to try and make it happen for the boy, because it would benefit him and certainly benefit us. So we're just trying to obviously go down every avenue that's available to us.
It speaks volumes how much you and the football club think of him. If you're prepared to commit to something, not knowing that you might ever get a work permit for him at some point in the future. I guess there's clauses to get out of that, is there, if he never gets a work permit?
We don't have to go into the specifics of it, but certainly we want to try and make it happen, and at the moment we haven't gone through every eventuality, and if we come to a brick wall after investigating every possibility, then maybe we'll have to hold our hands up and say it's not to be. But at the moment we're not in that position, and thankfully we have got options that we can go through and hopefully enable him to play in a Stoke City shirt.
Have you looked back at the Liverpool game? Your chairman has, and he's convinced that Raheem Sterling died. Have you? Do you agree with him? Have you had a look back at it and agree with that?
Well, I said after the game I thought it was an easy penalty, it was a soft penalty, whatever you want to call it, and there was actually an incident in the first half, I think, when their fullback went over by the byline, and very similar challenge from Jack Cameron, I think it was, and actually ended up in touch. We were given the throw-in, so it was a very similar challenge. For whatever reason, that decision was given towards us. Raheem Sterling in the opposition box was given against us, so a little bit of lack of consistency there, I would suggest.
You have to be very careful. I understand that about what you say to us, but do you feel hard done by referees generally after the Newcastle game, the Spurs game, now the Liverpool game? Do you think something needs to be said? Do you feel that strongly about it?
I think we feel a little bit disappointed with some of the performances of referees. It's difficult because it's not an easy job. I wouldn't like to do it, to be perfectly honest, but you just want them to get the key decisions correct, the ones that have a direct bearing on the result of the game, and unfortunately in recent weeks a number of decisions have gone against us, in our view, wrongly. As a consequence, we've seen games go away from us, and we've lost games as a consequence. So that's why we're a little bit disappointed at the moment, but hopefully that'll change.
Because you don't complain about referees personally very much, do you feel that maybe that makes it easier for referees to give decisions against you?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's the case. I think we come to a point where we needed to state our case, and I think that's what certainly Peter, our chairman's, felt the need to do, and I agree with that. But no, it's a difficult job, and everybody is appreciative of the role that the referees have, and listen, we haven't got a game without referees, so we can't be too critical. They do the best that they can do, but we just want them to make sure they get the key decision for it.
Tony Pulis this weekend, first time the players here will have come up against their old manager for a lot of them. It's going to bring obvious questions, I suppose, about whether they understand him more, whether he's got an insight into them. Do you expect that? Have you talked to them about the way he might set up Palace and the insight he'll have into your team?
Well, I suppose it's very similar in both respects. So certainly we probably got a unique insight into how Tony sets up his team, probably more advantageous to us as a group, given that he was here for so long and was with the players and working with them every day, so they'll understand what he's looking for in terms of the game plan and what he's trying to get out of his team shape and the work that he does on the training field. So you would say that given the personnel that is still here, they will have a better understanding than most opposition teams that Tony will go up against with his new team. So it's an advantage, but obviously he'll have an insight into what we're doing. We're trying to change somewhat, but certainly you'll know the individuals involved and their strengths and weaknesses. So it's an interesting battle of wills, but we're looking to obviously build on performances that we've had. We had a poor result against Liverpool, but performance-wise I was delighted with what we produced, so more of the same for us at the weekend. We need to start improving our away form, and if we can get maximum points against Palace, who obviously the team below us, and that will hurt them and help us if we can get maximum points.
And finally from me, since you've been here, you've been very complimentary about the job that Tony did here, albeit you want to change the style slightly and the club wants to change that in going forward. But has he given you a foundation and a platform here?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I've said on many occasions that the group of players here is a credit to the work that has been done before, and the quality of players that are here in terms of their attitude to work and their application on a daily basis is first class, and that comes from having good standards and good behaviours within the club, and that happens over a period of time. So certainly that influence from Tony Pulis is very evident in the group that I work with.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Okay.
What Jack Buckland's made his first Premier League start at the weekend. He's already played a couple of games, but baptism of fire against Liverpool. What's your impression of how he's done and how he's played?
I thought he did really well. Certainly he came in to half-time under difficult circumstances. Thomas unfortunately got injured against Everton. Came in, and I was really impressed with his confidence and his manner. And he was self-assured, so I had no qualms in putting him in against Liverpool. He had to obviously react quickly to 2 setbacks, and I thought he acquitted himself really well, made some key saves as well. Obviously no keeper wants to concede 5 goals, because that's something that they have pride in terms of clean sheets and what have you, and not conceding goals obviously, and to concede 5 on the Premier League debut would possibly hinder a lesser keeper or a keeper with less of a personality than Jack has. I think he's one of those guys that can obviously look at the game in its entirety, understand where he needs to improve, and understand sometimes circumstances go against you. I think that was the case. He made a number of key saves for us that helped us at key moments. On other occasions, Jack himself and people around him needed to do better, but that's a learning process. But Jack was fine on the day, so he won't have any problem in terms of getting over it and looking ahead to the next one.
And where are we with the next one? Is Thomas back? Is Jack keep his place?
No, this weekend Jack will be in goal again. I think his performance was good enough to merit that. He needs experience at this level. We need to expose him to Premier League football, and like I said time and time again, no qualms in putting him in. I've got a lot of confidence in him as a keeper.
Is it hard to believe that he's only 20? I mean, he's not.
I think when you have conversations with him, yeah, I think that's the case. I think he's, like I said, he's very self-confident, without any arrogance. It's I think his personality is that he's strong-willed, and he's confident in his own ability, and that's the reason I think he's progressed as quickly as he has done, because you have to be a strong character to walk into the Premier League dressing room and hold your own when you're a young boy.
And just something that Rob was touching on with Tony Pulis. Clearly, it's away from home, so it's not like he's coming back to the Britannia Stadium. But what would you expect Stoke fans? What sort of reception would you expect them to give Tony?
I'm sure the vast majority of them will give him a huge welcome, but I think the focus will very quickly turn to supporting Stoke and getting behind us like they always do. They always travel in great numbers for us, and they'll be totally behind the team and everybody with the Stoke City shirt on, and they'll recognise the work and effort that Tony put into the club, but very quickly move to cheering their team on, I'm sure.
You brought in Guidetta, if I got the pronunciation right, this week. Where does that leave the situation, I mean, with players kind of going in and out? Because there were rumours about potential bids for Crouch, and clearly Kenwyne Jones, it doesn't look like he's hanging.
Well, no, it doesn't make any difference to that whatsoever. I was always looking for more options. It's well documented. I mentioned that in the summer I was looking for more attacking options. Able to bring John in, but it's fair to say we don't expect him to fly out the traps. It might be a little bit of time before he's fully up to speed, but certainly he gives us different options. In terms of outgoings, we're not looking to do anything really. We might be forced into doing things, but that will be on our terms and not anybody else's.
And just finally from me, Kenwyne Jones, I know you kind of touched on it and you probably had enough of it, but how disappointed are you that one of your players who, you perhaps wanted to have over the weekend did that to you?
Well, like I said, I just thought at the time Kenwyne made a bad decision, and maybe at some point in the future you probably recognise that and want to. He felt it was something that he needed to do. So I have a view on it. Kenwyne and his people have a view on it. So it's best left at that, to be perfectly honest. But we have to move on. We've got games to prepare for. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Can't help the morale around the team that someone like that doesn't want to play for the team.
Well, it's difficult for the group, and I'm very conscious of that. Sometimes players think solely about their own situation, whereas myself as a manager, I've got to think about the group as a whole, and it's not just about one individual, it's about 20-25 individuals that I have to manage and make sure in the right frame of mind to progress in a very difficult league, which Premier League undoubtedly is. So that's what we're trying to do. So decisions will be made, and for the best for Stoke City and everybody knows.
It's a strong dressing room here, though. I mean, often you hear about them sorting things out among themselves. Do you expect that to happen? Has it happened?
No, listen, there's a different dressing room from what it would have been in my day, let's put it that way. But no, it's basically players have just got to come in and make sure that they train correctly and work hard when they're in the building, and then players will forgive a lot of things, I'm sure.
Mark, so just on the fitness front, how are Robert Huth and Andy Wilson, any chance?
No, Robert Huth is still a couple of weeks away. Still, we were trying to get him to progress, but he's just getting to a point where he just feels a little bit uncomfortable with the injury, so that we have to scale him back. So we're stepping him up as quickly as we can, but he's not where he needs to be. He still hasn't joined in with a full session yet with the group, so he was a number of weeks away. Matthew Evington has got a pulled calf, so he's not available. Andy Wilkinson is progressing well, but will be 2 to 3 weeks, I would think, as well. From that, and Asmir obviously he's got a scan, I think, on Monday, where the consultant will check. Obviously the injury is healing as he thinks, and if we can get a green light, hopefully he can get some ball work next week.
Mark, I was going to say, playing one of your club's ex-managers can be a bit of a hairy issue and this sort of thing, but you've done it a few times. I think when you were at Blackburn, you played an ex-Blackburn manager, Roy Hodgson, and happened to him. And then I think when you were at Fulham, you played next Fulham manager, Mickey Adams, beat him 6-0. So it's not such a big deal, though, is it?
No, but I think if people are right to recognise the significance of it. I think Tommy Pulis was here a long time and did a great job here. So I think people haven't had maybe the opportunity to thank him for the work that he's done. So I'm sure the fans will be appreciative in that way. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And I would expect it from Stoke fans, because they recognise when somebody's done their best for their club. But very quickly, as I said, I think their focus will be on getting behind us, as they always do, away from home, and cheering us on to a great result, hopefully.
Head to head, though, between you two, I think it's very even. I think it's 4 wins to 3. I'm not going to say who for.
I'm not sure what it is. I mean,
that's more
in fairness, I usually just concentrate on the club that I'm at and not what's gone on before. It's important that we focus on what we're trying to do, and records or individual head-to-heads don't really come into it. It's about making sure we prepare for the game correctly and hopefully get the right result.
Will you be concerned that Tony will be treated as a scouting mission?
Well, I mean, we get scouted every time we play, so I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. But listen, our players run show every week, and people who covered our players no doubt have the opportunity to make an opinion on them every other week, so it doesn't faze me.
Good luck, sir.
Thanks.